Greetings, this is Seb from Magnetic Audio, and today I've got something new for you. Well, as you may noticed, I listen to a lot of music, and that's maybe the reason why I became a mixing engineer. Haha. Yes, and I thought I'd like to let you know to which kind of music I listen, and even more precise, I'd like to let you know to which albums I listen in 1 month. Yeah, April is over and I listened to 48 full albums, and now I'd like to let you know which ones. I'll introduce them with 1 or 2 sentences, their release date and the name of the band and the hometown or home country of the band, so that everything is quite short and it will almost be like a list of recommendations. I'd like to introduce you to them in a chronological way. So we start with April 1st and my first album. The first album was Adore by Numenorean, and this is a post-black metal album which was released on April 12th in 2019, and the band comes from Calgary, Alberta. This is a very diverse album. It mixes modern post-metal elements with atmospheric post-black metal in its own way. The second one was Pilgrim by THRON, a blackened death metal album. It was released on 12th of March 21, and the band is from Germany. This album is the most melodic death metal album I know, and it has the nicest guitar sound to it, in my opinion at least. The third album was Sonic Mantras by the Blackheart Deathcult, and it's a psychedelic stoner album. It was released on March 26th in 21, and the band is from Melbourne, Australia. It's a very dreamy album, almost psychedelic as I said, and I guess you can hear it to hang out on the weekends with a couple of friends and beers or so. Album number 4 was Triebe by Ellende. It's an atmospheric post-black metal album, and the band is from Graz, Austria, and the album was released on 22nd of January this year. It's atmospheric post-black metal on a very high level. There's nothing else to say to that. Next album is Witch Coven by Raulcal Earthflash. It's a noisy black metal album. It was released on 2nd of April, and the band is from Switzerland. It's a noisy black metal album, as I said. It's almost drone. It's kind of a risky production, but in this case it's also very successful in my opinion. It's one of my favorite albums this month. The next album was Loose by Nordsind, an atmospheric post-black metal album which was released on March 26th in 21, and the band is from Copenhagen, Denmark. It's instrumental post-rock with black gaze influences, and it sounds really majestic. The next one is La Boga from Olhava. It's an atmospheric post-black metal album. It was released on March 20th in 2020, and the band is from St. Petersburg, Russia. The album is chaotic, atmospheric, and raw. It's a good template for their next album, which I listened next. It's Frozen Bloom. It's also an atmospheric black metal album, and it was released on 2nd of April 2021. And this is one of the most atmospheric post-black metal albums I know. It's almost a drone kind of thing, especially the last song. Yeah, and I like listening to it over and over again. The next album was Stoic from Crust, a sludge album, which also was released on the 2nd of April 21, and the band is from Russia. It's a sludge album with black metal influences. It's simple and very straightforward and heavy, and yeah, that's it, what you need from time to time. The next one is Beautiful Distraction by Hound, a heavy metal album, which also was released on 2nd of April in 2021, and the band is from Fresno, California. Well, this is a one-man heavy metal project, respect to that. It's cool songs in general, but sound-wise it's not quite my thing. The next album is called Skin Show and it's by The Lion's Daughter. It was released on April 9th. It's a modern metal album and the band is from St. Louis, Missouri. This is a kind of modern metal with electrical elements to it, and it mixes several styles from subgenres of metal. Okay, the next album was Menschenmühle by Kanonenfieber. It's a blackened death metal album. It was released on 20th of February this year. And the band comes from Bamberg, Germany. Well, this is the blackened death metal album of the year. I guess the internet agrees with that. And fun fact, the band is from my hometown. The next one was Ice Fleet by KAUAN. It's a post-rock album. It was released on 9th of April 21. And the band is from Tallinn, Estonia. I really looked forward to this album because I liked the previous one, but unfortunately it didn't catch me that much. The next album is Valley of the Snake by Ruby the Hatchet. It's a stoner album. It was released on 25th of February 2015 and the band is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yeah, this is an album from 2015. It's one of the most catchiest stoner albums in my opinion. There are outstanding riffs on bass and guitar on this record. And yeah, luckily I saw them twice within 1 week, like 1,000 kilometers apart on 2 different locations, which was pretty cool. The next album is Godspeed at State's End from Godspeed You Black Emperor. The genre I called soundtrack. The record was released on 2nd of April this year and the band is from Montreal, Quebec. I've only listened once to this album so far, so I could not make major conclusions on this one. Yeah, well, that's Godspeed You, it needs some time. The next record is War Within Me from Blaze Bayley. It's a heavy metal record. It was released on April 9th this year and the band is from the UK. It's pushing heavy metal that came across this year. It has some nice classic heavy metal riffs to it, a great voice, and it's just a lot of fun. Wow, with also a very good production. The next record is called Echoes of the Earth. It's from Soothsayer. It's a doom album and it was released on April 9th, 21 and the band is from Ireland. Soothsayer described themselves as an atmospheric doom band and yeah, I like the album very much, but you have to be really in the mood for this one though. Okay, the next one stands out a little bit. It's We Are Stardust from LukHash. And it's a synthwave album. It was released on April 9th this year and the band is from Edinburgh, UK. Yeah, as I said, this was a little excursion for me into synthwave, but I really liked it and I especially liked these vintage electric drum samples, especially on the toms. Yeah, I really like that. The next album is called V or 5. It's from Sai. I hope I pronounced that right. It's a blackened death metal album. It was released on April 9th and the band is from the Netherlands. Yeah, it's a brand new and very dark blackened death metal album from the Netherlands and I really liked and enjoyed listening. The next album is called Gods Have No Home. It's from EO-Rond. It's an atmospheric post-black metal album which was released on November 6th. 2020 and the band is from Krasnoyarsk, Russia. Yeah, it's an atmospheric post-black metal album from Siberia and those Russian post-black metal bands really got me in April and I really like it and I will definitely give it another shot. The next album is Portraits from Perennial Isolation. It's an atmospheric post-black metal album. The band is from Barcelona, Spain, and it was released on 26th of March in 2021. The album has cool vocals on it and an incredible snare sound. Yeah, it's a really cool album. The next album is called 150 by Black Waves. It's a post-doom metal band from Münster, Germany, and was released on November 15th, 2019. I quote off their Bandcamp page, "Black Waves is a brilliant instrumental sludge metal band blending elements of post-rock, doom, and post-metal to devastating effect." The next album is called Embers from Mona. It's a black metal album which was released on March 31st, 21, and the band is from Poland. I would say this is a modern metal production with black metal influences. The next album is called Etemen Enka, or something like that, from Dvne. It's a progressive metal album which was released on 19th of March this year, and the band is from the UK. Yeah, and I really love this album. It's an insane production with insanely good musicians. The next album is 2 from Fuath. It's an atmospheric post-black metal album. It was released on March 19th, 21, and the band is from Scotland. Black metal also exists in Scotland, even pretty good one if you ask me. And it's atmospheric and raw at the same time, which I really like. The next album is called Johannes by Decline of the Eye. It's an avant-garde black metal album, which was released on March 26th this year, and the band is from Paris, France. Yeah, they describe their style as avant-garde black metal, so they got me. Yeah, and luckily I really liked the album. The next album is called Diabolic Thirst from Spectral Wound. It's raw black metal and it was released on April 16th this year, and the band is from Montreal, Quebec. Yeah, I already thought their first album was great. The second is also very great. It's raw black metal without compromise and superbly played. The next album is called Preserved in Time by Wheel. It's a heavy metal record which was released on April 9th this year, and the band is from Dortmund, Germany. Yeah, it's heavy metal from the Ruhr area in Germany, and I really say you can hear that. The next album is Rotting Garden by Grima. It's atmospheric post-black metal. The album was released on 22nd of January this year, and the band is from Finland. Yeah, it was one of my top discoveries in April. Rediscovery because I didn't like the first album or the previous album that much, but I even more like this one. I especially like those deeply growled vocals and the ongoing atmosphere. Okay, the next album is called 3 Pentecost from Wytch Hazel. It's a heavy metal album which was released on October 30, 2020. The band is from Lancaster, UK. Yeah, it's vintage rock, vintage metal on a horseback, armed with a sword, on a rescue mission with an awesome drummer and an incredible singer. I really love that album. The next one Comes Crashing In from Live Leone. It's a stoner album which was released on 2nd of July in 2013, and the band is from California. Sun, good mood, and completely cranked amps. That is all you need to do a good stoner rock record, and this is all they've got on their album, and it's one of my all-time classics. I can hear it over and over again. The next album is called Excerpts from a Future Past from Hällas, and it's a psychedelic rock album. It was released on October 13th in 2017, and the band is from Jönköping, Sweden. It's vintage sounds, amazing riffs, a pretty good singer, and very good songs. It's also one of my all-time classics, and I really love listening to this album. The next one is Levent, and it's their self-titled album, so the band is also called Levent. It's a grunge record. It was released on June 30th in 2017, and the band is from Berlin, Germany. Yeah, and I saw them live back in 2017 or 18, I guess, on the Stoned of the Underground festival. It was a great show, and yeah, I really miss live shows. The next album is called The Funeral Pyre by KAUAN. It's raw black metal, which was released on February 28th this year, and the band is from Sweden. Yeah, it's raw black metal from Sweden, of course. The next album is called Brandmale from Melkor. It's black metal from Germany, and the album was released on April 16th this year. Yeah, and I really liked the instrumental songs. Unfortunately, I wasn't the biggest fan of the vocals. The next album is called Under the Witching Cross from Bewitcher. It's a heavy metal album which was released on April 16th and 21. And the band is from Portland, Oregon. It's rock and roll, or as they say, black and roll for wild parties. The next album is called The One by Vzor. It's an atmospheric post-black metal album. It was released on April 17th this year, and the band comes from Russia. It's a one-man black metal project from recording, even from songwriting to mastering. And it's really successful, if you ask me. It's turned out pretty good. It's only available on Bandcamp, and I made you a little Spotify list. I will come back to this in the end of this video. Yeah, so this one won't be on the Spotify list. The next album is called Beneath the Great Sky of Solitude from Dusk in Silence. It's an atmospheric post-black metal album which was released on April 20th, and the band is from Blitar, Indonesia. This is atmospheric post-black metal as I like it, with a lot of reverb and a really, really uplifting mood. Yeah, do it like that and I will like it. This album is also only available on Bandcamp. The next album is called Donikat, and the band, who I hope I pronounced that right, is called Angsrth. It's a black metal album which was released on April 17th this year, and the band is from Poland. Yeah, and wow, this is what I call a destructive drum sound. The next album is called Triad 1 Eos by Ara. It's an atmospheric post-black metal album which was released on March 26th this year, and the band is from Switzerland. Yeah, it's a black metal symphony. It really stands out, and it's definitely one of my favorites this month. The next one is called Corpse Flower from Cicada The Burrower. It's progressive post-black metal, and the album was released on 23rd of April this year, and the band is from Madison, Wisconsin. It's an experimental progressive post-black metal album with really refreshing ideas. Yeah, I enjoyed listening through this a lot. Next album is called Sweep into Space by Dinosaur Jr. It's a grunge noise rock album. It was released on 23rd of April this year, and the band is from Amherst, Massachusetts. Yeah, it's a classical Dinosaur Jr. album with incredible natural drum sound, which I really liked, and yeah, which makes the album also really cool. The next album is called Autumn Eternal by Panopticon. It's an atmospheric post-black metal album, which was released on October 16th in 2016, and the band is from Minnesota. I think this album is outstanding. The atmosphere is unbeatable, and you really immerse yourself while listening. Next one is Unmountable Stairs by Witchrider. It's a stoner record which was released on November 14th in 2014, and the band is from Graz, Austria. This is an album, one of a few albums I know which has only hit songs on it, and so it's also an all-time classic album. For me, at least. The next one is Purple by Baroness. It's a sludge post-metal record. It was released on December 18th, 2015, and the band is from Savannah, Georgia. Well, and sometimes you have to listen to your favorite band, of course. I really like all of their albums. I even couldn't pick a favorite, so I can't say this one is my favorite, because every album has its own goodness. Okay, we come to the last 3 albums. The next one is Feast for Water by Messa. It's a stoner doom album which was released on 6th April 2018, and the band is from Italy. Yeah, and I love the vocals on this one. It's a very, very talented singer. You can especially hear that when the reverb kicks in, because it suits the vocals so good, so that you know every tone is hit quite good. The next one is The All Devouring by Zomn. It's an atmospheric post-black metal album. It was released on January 27th in 2019, and the band is from St. Petersburg, Russia. Yeah, and it's another star from the atmospheric post-black metal heaven that shines bright over Russia. Okay, and the last album is Mirrors by Pupil Slicer. It's a chaotic hardcore math grind record. It was released on March 12th this year, and the band is from London, UK. It's wild, chaotic, shattering, and good. Okay, that was my list of all the albums I listened back in April. Let me know in the comments to which albums you listened back in April, or maybe today, whatever, so that I can take those recommendations maybe for the next show, or at least listen to them. Would be pretty cool to get to know some new albums. I made you a little Spotify playlist. You can find it down in the description with all the 48 albums of April. No, not all the 48, except 3. I mentioned them in the list. And yeah, so you can listen to all the albums yourself. Okay, that's it for this episode, and we'll see us next time.